What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I want to say thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and turn on post notifications so you can join the Rich Gang family. Hit that like button and be sure to leave a comment down below when complete. So as y'all can see by the looks of the title and your screen, today I'm going to go ahead and be bringing y'all the top 3 most rare and broken small forward builds on NBA 2K22 next gen. And coming up at number 1, as y'all saw, we are going to be making the offensive minded wing. And keep in mind, with each and every one of these builds, we are going to be able to get over 100 badges if you follow along correctly. And if you want to make your own adjustments, just be sure to do so after we complete the entire making of the build. So as you can see, when it comes down to the finishing on this build, we're going to be able to get contact dunks with an 87 driving dunk, also have some post control in ourselves, and then on top of all that, we're going to be able to get a total of 25 finishing badges with Hall of Fame back down Punisher, but then we also get 24 for the shooting. Now, let's go ahead and move into the playmaking, and if you do need the physical still, check out the top right center of the screen. Height of 6'7", weight of 181 with a 7'1" wingspan. Now, these are all really based off of my own preference. Again, if you want to make these builds differently, you can definitely go ahead and do so to your liking, but I'm liking how the playmaking is looking, coming out with a total of 23 badges. Then once we go ahead and get into the defensive end, I know that perimeter defense is a little low, but once you take into consideration the block and the steal, this is really going to make up for that. And the only reason why I'm keeping these numbers as is to maintain the build name. So a total of 21 defensive badges. The physicals are pretty much maxed out. Make sure you go with at least an 80 vertical. 90 stamina is going to be perfect. And remember, we are also able to have the potential to unlock a total of 10 extra badges on this build. So that is something that I really feel like a lot of people do sleep on when it comes to making their builds. But honestly, when it comes to the ones that I'm bringing y'all, just know I am always going to remind y'all, take that into account, and then also add up all the badges together just so you know exactly what we are working with. But pretty much this is going to be the setup of what badges we're going to be using. Then when it comes down to the takeovers, we get the slashing, shot creating, sharpshooting, and the rare post scoring. So whichever takeover that you decide to work with today, base it off of what you are comfortable with as well as what you feel like is going to be the most fun for you. I'm going with ankle breaking shots as well as finishing moves. And as y'all can see, the build we just created together is going to be called the offensive minded wing, and perfect comparisons of Jimmy Butler as well as Kawhi the Claw Leonard. Now, from here, this is only one build out of 3 that I'm bringing to y'all today. So now, let's go ahead and jump into the second build. And as y'all can see, we are making another small forward, of course, but this is going to be called the point forward build with the post scoring takeover coming in at 6'7" with a weight of 181. I'm telling you, this build is definitely going to be a true point forward. So when it comes down to what it's going to be able to do, this build is really going to remind me of Magic Johnson back in the day. Still going to be able to post up on smaller guards, but also dribble at ease, and honestly just as better and as fast as any other build in 2K. So again, man, if you are still here watching, just know I appreciate y'all and I truly thank y'all. But what y'all need to go ahead and do, if you have not already, be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. Hit that sub button so you can join the Rich Gang family. And if you want to check out every single day when I'm uploading, be sure to go ahead and throw on post notifications. And man, out of all these builds that I'm bringing to y'all today, and even of the past, let me know, which one do you plan on making? And out of all 3, which one is your favorite build name, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. Y'all know that I'm always responding to y'all, so never worry about that. Let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of this build though. So when it came down to the wingspan, I decided to go with 7'1". You can definitely go ahead and try to go a little bit lower, but I'm telling you, when it comes down to it, you definitely want to go ahead and be sure that you're maintaining everything that you need out of this build, not going too crazy or drastic when it comes down to the physicals, and the same thing will apply for the stats. So pretty similar to the previous build, right here we're going to be able to go ahead and get 25 finishing badges, 24 shooting, and then once it comes down to the playmaking, we're going to be able to maintain a total of 28 badges. So a little bit more on the playmaking side of things, but I'm telling you, the builds only continue to get even better, especially with what they're able to do, but also the build names themselves. So for the defensive end, the perimeter defense here is up much more, also getting a total of 22 badges. Then for the physicals, what you want to go ahead and do, max out that speed, go with the 78 acceleration, 70 vertical, and throw the rest into your stamina. Now the way that the build is coming out is truly what I like to call a true point forward because of the amount of playmaking badges, but also the versatility that this build comes with. I feel like that is a lot of things that people miss on when it comes down to making this specific kind of point forward. But honestly, you can always make your own adjustments basing it off of how you want to, but my goal when creating any build is to make it as close as possible to the actual build name. So right here, we're going to be able to get the post-scoring takeover, playmaking, shot creating with the slashing. So whichever one you decide to pick, make sure this one is going to be putting you in the best area for success, and also just to be sure that you feel comfortable with the takeovers you're picking. I'm going to go with ankle breaking shots. The second one, I'm also going to go ahead and throw on finishing moves again. And as y'all can see, we have made the rare point forward build with over 100 badges, and look at the great comparisons of RJ Barrett, Scottie Pippen, and Jaylen Brown. So right now, since we are already closing it out, we're going to go ahead and get into this last and final build. Really cool build name, and for my liking, this build is going to be called the Tempo Pushing Wing, and we're going to be using it with a sharpshooting takeover. So man, if you did make it this far, I truly appreciate every one of y'all who is continuously showing the support, coming out, and also for those of you who comment at every single video and hit that like. Know that I truly appreciate y'all, and that is part of the reason why I really want y'all to comment down below so I can see who is coming through and a part of the Rich Gang family. But when it comes down to this build, we're going to be going with the height of 6'7" as well, 180 for the weight, and then a 6'8" wingspan with the body shape of builds. Now, as you can see already, this build is going to be a little bit different, of course, because we did adjust the wingspan, but what that means is it's actually going to carry on into the actual stats, because the stats here have to be different because we did change the wingspan. So as far as for the breakdown of the actual attributes on the finishing, I'm going to go with a close shot of 60, 89 driving layup, and a 90 driving dunk with, just for badge purposes, a 68 post control. And what that's going to do is bring us up to a total of 22 finishing badges. So now from here, let's go ahead and move on to the shooting. I'm going to go with a 75 mid-range shot, 82 three-pointer, and then once it comes down to the free throw, I'm going to go ahead and put this into a 90, and that's going to leave us at a total of 22 shooting badges. Now, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of 76, ball handle of 86, and then speed with ball, of course. You want to max this out, and that's going to give us a total of 24 badges in this area. Now, we're going to go ahead and move on into the defensive area. So this is very essential when it comes down to how we're going to be using this build. So for my liking, I'm going to go with a 66 interior defense, 77 perimeter, 84 for the steal. We're going to go ahead and max out the block as well with that. Now, we got the rest for the rebounding, and what I'm going to do is max out both of them, and that's going to bring us up to a total of 23 defensive badges. And also, when it comes down to the physicals, pretty much the rest of the attributes are going to be thrown into this area of the build. So I'm going to go ahead and max out my speed, acceleration. As for the vertical, that can stay at a 70, and then I'm going to leave it with a 90 stamina. And this is essentially what the build is going to be looking like. Now from here, you really have a couple options to pick from. We got the slashing takeover, shot creating, sharpshooting, and the playmaking. But man, since y'all made it this far, man, I just want you to know, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications and hit that like button to join the Rich Gang family. And do not forget to leave a comment down below when complete. As y'all can see, the tempo pushing wing. Thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity. And man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.